The HX Stomp is literally the best amp modeler out there, especially given the price point. That's what we're going to talk about today. However, I do feel the need to address the elephant in the room. A few weeks ago, I posted a video to avoid the HX Stomp in 2024, and it flopped, needless to say. And you guys were out there defending it like crazy. And I agree with your sentiments 100%. My goal was just to give another perspective, the other side of the proverbial coin, if you will, because I know what it's like to buy an expensive amp modeler only for its predecessor to be announced 4 months after you purchase it and it have all the bells and whistles that you were looking for from the one that you actually bought. With that said, the HX Stomp XL is still amazing and literally the best amp modeler, especially under $1,000. So let's get into it. First, talk about hardware and software. The HX Stomp XL is on par with things like the Quad Cortex and the FM9, having 8 different programmable switches in order to craft your perfect tone. The FM9 has 9 switches, the Quad Cortex has 8 switches, and the only real outlier out there is the Kemper Stage, which has 12-foot switches. But the Line 6 HX Stomp is right with the amp modeler's twice its price point, at least in terms of form factor. I think at the 8 to 9 foot switches, I think that is the perfect range of amount of controllability you need for an amp modeler. When I had my Axe-Fx 2 XL Plus, I had the MFC 101, which is its foot switch version for the rack mounted unit, and it had 15 switches, which was complete overkill 99.9% of the time. So I really do think 8 to 9 foot switches is the ideal situation that you're gonna run into from the bedroom all the way up to the stage. Now let's talk about firmware, because if you weren't in the know, Line 6 pumps out a bunch of updates for the Helix and HX Stomp models. The latest update as of recording this video was the Helix HX Stomp 3.7.1, which was a bug update from the 3.70 update, which added 10 new amps, 9 new cabinets, and 5 new effects. And that came out in November of 2023. Even 6 years later, Line 6 is still pumping out new updates, whether that be cabs, effects, guitar amplifiers. And if that's not a good value for your hard-earned money, I'm not really sure what it is.
Down with disease, 3 weeks in my bed, trying to stop these demons that keep dancing in my head. Barefoot children outside, dancing on my lawn. Dancing on my lawn. For the time that I can find this. This is so wonderful. Now I'm on my way. When I think it's time to leave it all behind, try to find a way to something I can say to me. It's
Next, let's talk about the tones, the amp modelers, and the effects that the HX Stomp has on board. Because at the end of the day, that is the main reason why you would consider purchasing this thing. Does it sound good in 2024? And for starters, it sounds amazing. Yes, it sounds incredible. All the tones that you're hearing in this video are coming from the HX Stomp. No processing power, just recording directly via USB into Logic. The HX series currently has 88 amplifiers, ranging from your Fender Deluxes, your Vox AC30s, to your Marshall Plexis, to your more boutique amps like your Divided by 13 JRTs, your Trainwreck Expresses, and your Soldano SLO 100s. This wide variety of amps should be enough for anybody looking to sculpt their perfect tone, especially with the ability to live reamp, especially with recording in a mix. And if you're curious about how to do that, there'll be a link to that video in the description box down below. Now, I will say 88 amps is a lot less than the 280 plus that the FM9 boasts and the essentially unlimitless amount of amps that the Kemper Stage can profile. But unless you're looking for something very hyper specific, like a Shure Badger 35, most of the tones and amplifiers that you're looking for are gonna be on this device. There are currently 83 cabinets in the HX Stomp, 42 modern ones, and 41 legacy ones. You can ultimately double that number if you choose to run dual cabinets, which I often do, running 2 different cabinets, or either the same cabinet with 2 different microphones that complement each other to make the perfect preset. And honestly, I can't imagine needing anything more than the 83 preloaded guitar cabinets, especially with the ability to change different microphones and move those around in real time so you can get different tones. Honestly, that could be its own tutorial in and of itself. And if that is not enough, it does have the ability to load IRs, so you can capture your perfect tone. Let's talk about price point, because honestly that is the best thing going for the Line 6 HX Stomp XL. Currently, as of recording it, it is $750 US and is the best bang for your buck, especially in the amp modeling world. And I would argue that the form factor, the number of amps, and the tones and the sounds that you can get out of this device is well worth the $1,000 price point. The UI is easy and simple to use. You have a ton of different amps and effects to choose from, and the 8 switches is more than enough that you'll use in most situations, ranging from your bedroom all the way to the stage. Now, I'm not saying the HX Stomp isn't cheap. $750 is a lot of money, but you're getting a lot for that money. And this is the best amp modeler that you can buy, especially under $1,000. And if you're curious to know what this sounds like compared to a Fractal FM9, which is $1,000 more than this, check out this video over here, and I will see you over there. And until then, let the music play.